is the best fighter on the planet. Pound for pound, he's that dude. In this 4-belt era, he is now the undisputed world champion 3 times over. 140 pounds, 147, now 168 pounds.
That Bud was the best. I got to give it to him. Bud the best, right? He hands down. He the best. He the best right now. I don't think nobody need to question him no more. I mean, you kind of got to give him his respect no matter what. You got to give him his respect. He just went up 2 weight classes what people said he couldn't do. He's doing everything that people say he can't do.
I've been a world champion, as you know, and I've been a 3-division world champion. I've only won one of the belts. I don't know what it is to be undisputed. I don't know that feeling. Do you understand? What he did last...
Stephen A. Smith called out Floyd Mayweather Jr. for minimizing Terence Crawford following his win over Canelo Alvarez. Smith argued that Crawford achieved something historic, noting that very few fighters have managed to become undisputed in multiple weight divisions. He emphasized that Crawford fully earned his legacy and deserves respect rather than doubt. In Smith's view, the victory over Canelo was more than just another fight. It was a career-defining moment that pushed Crawford into the conversation of all-time greats, regardless of Mayweather's criticism.
On the planet. Pound for pound, he's that dude. In this 4-belt era, he is now the undisputed world champion 3 times over. 140 pounds, 147, now 168 pounds. Claiming all the belts. You don't see people doing that very often. Going up against a guy who was perceived as being bigger and stronger, Crawford was strong. Crawford was strong enough to fend him off, strong enough to make him respect his own power. He used his...
Jeff Mayweather shared strong opinions about the upset Terence Crawford handed to Canelo Alvarez, saying the defeat will always leave a mark on Canelo's legacy. He explained that Canelo was the undisputed king of the division, carrying both authority and dominance over his rivals. Still, he was handed a humbling loss by a fighter willing to move up in weight and challenge him on his own turf. According to Jeff, it wasn't a minor setback, but a lasting stain that will follow Canelo's name in boxing history. He added that champions are remembered for defining moments, and for Canelo, that moment became a crushing defeat to Crawford.
With Chavez. What did this do to his legacy? Because I don't think he caught, the Floyd fight didn't give him, people didn't really look down on him because he was, even though he had 40 fights, he was still, fighting one of the greatest ever in an absolute master. In Bivol, he went up weight classes to win. But now he's fighting a smaller guy, a great fighter, but a smaller guy. Does this damage his legacy in any way?
I think it does. I think it does because, the one thing is this, is that, you were ruling, you were the king of that weight class. And the king of that weight class for a good while. And I think that, he had a huge following because, he became the face of boxing.
And even though it's another, future Hall of Famer, still losing a guy come up a couple weight classes, it kind of makes you...
Stephen A. Smith openly praised the victory by Terence Crawford and didn't hide his admiration. He said being there to witness the moment made it even more special for him. Smith explained that in his view, no one in boxing history has accomplished what Crawford did by moving up in weight and defeating a dominant champion like Canelo Alvarez in such convincing fashion. He described it as a career-defining achievement that separates Crawford from the rest and guarantees the night a permanent place in boxing history. To Smith, it wasn't just another bout, but a moment that reshaped how greatness in the sport is measured.
Terence Bud Crawford moving up 2 weight divisions, really 3 in my mind, because we only fought 1 fight at the junior middleweight division. So he's really moving up from 147 pounds, okay? Terence Bud Crawford moving up to the 168-pound limit in an effort to claim the undisputed super middleweight championship of the world from the grasp of Saul Canelo Alvarez. Now, I was there because let me tell you something right now. There's very, very few sporting events in the world that are better than a super fight in Vegas. I can tell you that right now. There's very, very few events.
Terence Crawford's trainer made it clear after the fight that his fighter has nothing left to prove. In his view, Crawford has reached a level where respect should no longer be questioned, even though some critics still refuse to give it. He pointed out that despite dismantling a huge name like Canelo Alvarez, Crawford continues to face narratives outside the ring. The trainer added that Terence is not focused on another fight right now because what he achieved against Canelo is already enough to secure his greatness. For Crawford, it's no longer about chasing big names, but about solidifying a legacy that can't be denied.
And his well-renowned trainer, two-time trainer of the year and future Hall of Fame trainer, Brian Bomac McIntyre, recently did an interview in which Bomac stated that a fight is not happening. And this particular fight is a fight that everybody wanted to see Canelo Alvarez take, and Canelo Alvarez refused to take this fight with a 28-year-old two-division world champion, reigning WBC light heavyweight, former two-time WBC super middleweight, the Mexican Ecuadorian superstar boxer, who's one of my favorite fighters and a great person, David, the Mexican Ecuadorian monster Benavidez, who is 30 wins, no loss, no draw, 24 wins by way of knockout. Stands at 6'2" with a 75-inch arm reach and fights at 175. But the entire time David Benavidez was fighting at 168, Canelo Alvarez was brought up and he never accepted the fight. And so with that said, now people are trying to project this fight on Terence Crawford. And they're saying that Terence Crawford needs to take the fight. So Bomac yesterday did an interview and Bomac said they're not fighting David Benavidez. And so now people are pushing this notion that Terence Crawford is ducking and Terence Crawford is scared of David Benavidez. And if he don't fight David Benavidez...
Timothy Bradley offered one of the boldest takes by comparing Terence Crawford directly with Floyd Mayweather Jr. He said Crawford now deserves a place at the very top of the greatest of all time debate. Bradley explained that the moment wasn't just about defeating Canelo Alvarez, but about redefining what it truly means to be pound-for-pound number one. He added that while Mayweather mastered boxing in his era, Crawford showed he could operate on an even higher level by stepping up and beating Canelo at his strongest. In Bradley's view, that victory pushed Crawford into a different category reserved only for the sport's true legends.
Cause guess what? He done. Ain't nothing else he needs to do. Ain't nothing else he needs to do in boxing. Yep, y'all doubt him now? Y'all doubt him now? You see, I saw some of y'all goofies on y'all channels. You come here and you get the real over here. That's what you get over here. You want the real? You want a real breakdown from a real fighter, a Hall of Famer? That's what you do. You come right here and you gonna get the real and you gonna get the truth. Dang it, that's what you gonna get. Leave them other lames alone and come right on over here. Yeah, and get the truth and nothing but the truth. I've been trying to tell y'all for years about this. Been trying to tell y'all for years about Terence Crawford. Everybody.
Roy Jones Jr. shared a balanced view, noting that unlike when Floyd Mayweather Jr. defeated Canelo Alvarez years ago, this time both fighters were in their prime. He explained that Mayweather faced a younger and less experienced Canelo, which allowed him to outbox him with superior skill and ring IQ. By comparison, Terence Crawford stepped in against a fully developed and battle-tested version of Canelo, who had ruled his division for years. Even though Crawford was naturally the smaller fighter, he still managed to break him down. For Roy, that reality makes Crawford's accomplishment remarkable because he defeated a stronger, wiser, and sharper Canelo than the one Mayweather encountered.
Is really 3 weights above his natural weight class. Does that put him in the conversation with the likes of yourself as the greatest fighter of all time?
Yes, it does, and the reason it does is because he couldn't get the credibility down in his own weight class, so he went up to go challenge himself to fight it, and he found a very formidable, good opponent.
Do you think Canelo Alvarez is on the decline or not?
No, I don't think it's on decline at all.
So you think both fighters are still at their peak, even though they're 36, 37?
Yeah, I think they're both still at their peak. The age for Crawford would seem like he may be beyond it, but he hasn't had the fights, the tough fights we have put him there. And the years of boxing for Canelo would have put him up put them in a position where they're about equal. So I think they both are pretty much in a great place. I think they're both still in their primes.
Duke McKenzie was stunned by what he witnessed in the ring. In his opinion, Canelo Alvarez had no answer to the pressure, speed, and precision of Terence Crawford. He described the performance as unbelievable and incredible, calling it one of the most complete displays seen in modern boxing. McKenzie noted that Crawford not only became undisputed, but also showed that he is extremely difficult to beat, even against the toughest opponents. With clear admiration, he said Crawford has set a level so high that very few fighters may ever be able to match it.
What he did last night is unbelievable. He's a 3-time undisputed world champion, and he's beaten the best of the best. Now, for me, there were red flags way before this fight. Not way before the fight. You know, in the build-up to this fight, Canelo's body language in the run-up to this fight. You know, he turned up in Vegas in his stretch limo, in his Armani suit. He's had his kids and his wife in the back of the car, and he's got out and he's strolling around like he owns the gaff. Now, that all that signified to me was a very comfortable man. He was too comfortable. And Terence Crawford just kept it real from the outset. Tracksuit, no nonsense, went there to win, said what he was going to do, told the world what he was going to do long before the fight. I think he asked for this fight many years ago. The discussion he had with Bill Haney, and I think it was him that actually suggested call out Canelo, which he laughed at the beginning, but then it came to fruition, and now it's come to fruition. I mean, what you saw in that fight yesterday, what I watched in that fight yesterday, it was for the purists. It really was, because you really have to try and understand boxing and know what you're looking at. It was the feints. It was the way that he handled the bigger man. It was the little feints, the little side steps, the little flicking with the jabs, you know, hitting him with the head and the body, the little combinations, the little 2s and 3s, and also with Crawford knowing how to close around.
Robert Garcia gave one of the strongest endorsements of Terence Crawford, arguing that in this situation he accomplished more than Floyd Mayweather Jr. He pointed out that Crawford appeared to win 9 or 10 rounds against Canelo Alvarez and showed a level of hunger rarely seen at that level of risk. Garcia added that Mayweather never took on the challenge of moving up and dominating a bigger champion in that fashion, which is why Crawford's victory stands out as unique and historic. In his view, it wasn't just about belts or statistics, but about the courage to take risks and succeed, something that separates true legends from the rest.
Has already accomplished too much, has already done too much, and he wasn't, I don't see that hunger in him anymore. I don't see those changes anymore. He fights flat-footed, throws one punch at a time. He's not fast anymore, and that's why I picked Crawford by decision.
Are you surprised at how easy it was?
Look, not that I'm surprised, because what I just told you, I think Crawford is very talented, and Crawford is hungry to become a legend. He wanted to become that three-time, 3-division undisputed. He wanted to go up, he wanted to make history by going up 2 divisions to beat Canelo, one of the greatest of all time. So he was hungry for it. I think Canelo has already done so much, has made so much money, that he's not hungry anymore.
You think possibly that Crawford is up there with Pacquiao or Mayweather?
I think in accomplishments, he's 3-division undisputed, moved up 2 divisions to beat Canelo. So he's probably he's accomplished more than Mayweather for sure. Mayweather never became undisputed, but that doesn't mean he's better than Mayweather. I think in a fight at welterweight, Mayweather in his prime would beat Crawford, and Pacquiao in his prime would probably beat Crawford. But Crawford has accomplished more.
Do you think Crawford should retire after this or fight someone else?
Look, I think a rematch would be fucking good for Crawford to just beat him again and do the same thing. If Canelo doesn't have any changes, he needs to do a lot of changes. Canelo needs to do a lot of changes. I think a rematch would do triple the money that he did in this fight and then retire. But I would be so happy to hear he retire.
Brian Norman, Sr. left no doubt declaring that Terence Crawford's dismantling of Canelo Alvarez was far more punishing than anything Floyd Mayweather Jr. had ever done. His statement resonated with fans and analysts because it captured the reality inside the ring. Canelo, long seen as the king of his division, wasn't just defeated. He was systematically broken down by a fighter who moved up 2 weight classes to face him. Crawford's performance was a masterclass that redefined modern boxing greatness. For years, Canelo had reigned as the undisputed ruler of the super middleweight division, facing top opponents and establishing himself as one of boxing's most marketable champions. His dominance made him seem nearly untouchable, with rivals often succumbing to his heavy combinations and calculated pressure. Yet in one night, Crawford shattered that aura. The shock wasn't only in the result, but in the manner. Canelo wasn't narrowly edged or outlasted on points. He was outclassed and left searching for answers that never came.
I didn't think that Bud was the best. I gotta give it to him. Bud the best, right? He hands down. He the best. He the best right now. I don't think nobody need to question him no more. I mean, you kind of got to give him his respect no matter what. You got to give him his respect. He just went up 2 weight classes, what people said he couldn't do. He's doing everything that people say he can't do, and he is doing it with ease. Right? You got to respect that.
Break it down for me. How did he win that fight in the way he won it tonight?
He won the fight by gaining Canelo's respect. I think he was already in Canelo's head a little bit. I think that even though Canelo knew he was smaller and everything else, these fighters are still humans and they hear what the people are saying. Canelo was Crawford was undefeated. Look at what he did to Spence. I mean, look at what he's doing to some of these people. So no matter what, I mean, you have to take that into consideration. You know what I'm saying? Even no matter what he did against Primoz or whatever else, you got to take into consideration what Bud has been known to do when it's time to do it. You know what I'm saying? So again, I think Canelo respected him, and I think that was the biggest part.
Canelo just said in the press conference that Crawford's better than Mayweather, having shared the ring with both. What do you think?
I mean, I think that's one of the things. I think that's one of the things that's it's opinionated situation because styles make fights. He beat him up. He beat Canelo up worse than Mayweather beat him up. He definitely did that. So in that case, you can ask the question: did he beat him up worse than Floyd did? Absolutely. But I mean, that would be an opinionated thing because styles make fights. You just never know. You know what I'm saying?
Different eras as well, right?
Andre Ward placed Terence Crawford's victory in historical perspective, calling it a generational fight that fans will remember for decades as a turning point in boxing. He explained that moments like this define careers and separate great fighters from timeless legends. Ward was particularly impressed by Crawford's discipline, remaining sharp, composed, and intelligent throughout the fight without letting emotions interfere. In his view, this performance cemented Crawford as one of the greatest fighters ever, elevating him to a level where very few in boxing history have stood, especially after dismantling Canelo Alvarez so decisively.
Canelo Alvarez tonight. What was your thoughts on that performance from Canelo, from Terence?
Terence Crawford, is great performance, man. He's been doing this throughout the course of his career. The stakes were a lot different in this fight, a lot more danger. He had to fight that kind of fight in order to beat Canelo Alvarez tonight, and he did that at 38, 37, but getting ready to be 38 years old. And he proved, like Max said, that he is the GOAT of this generation. Hats off to Canelo for taking the fight. He didn't have to take it. Hats off to Turkey Al-Sheiks for putting it together. Just a great night for boxing.
Yeah. How special a fighter is someone like Terence Crawford? There was no signs of a size disadvantage there. How special?
You can see it in spots, but it wasn't significant. And I didn't think it was going to be significant. And people called me crazy, but I've been around Terence. He's strong. He's got a wrestling background, and people don't realize that he's been boiling himself down all these years and still being successful, not having to do that. His condition seemed impeccable, and his strength was there, the power was there enough to get respect from Canelo. So what more can I say?
What would you like to see him do next? Do you think there's another fight after this?
I'd like to see him be done. What are we boxing for at this point? What else is there to do? There's always going to be a YouTuber or a reporter or somebody conjuring up another challenge. We box to get ourselves in a better financial position, to build a name and a legacy. Those boxes are checked. What else are we doing?
That's it for today's video. Stay tuned for more updates.